Hello, hello, good morning. Welcome to Create with Us, a series of invitations throughout the day today to set aside the busy world and find a moment to take some time to write and envision and create, just generally to refill our cups. I'm Zoe Faye-Stent. I am a poet here at Iowa State in the Creative Writing and Environment program, the MFA program. And this kicks off our first series of the Create With Us sessions, of which we'll have 3 today. And I just want to take a moment before we jump in. I'm going to lead us through some guided writing prompts and carve out some space just to create, as I said. And I want to take a moment for all of us to kind of get in our seats, get settled. It's kind of early, the day is starting, so let's just take a moment to arrive and be here together. Strange world in this virtual space. So thank you for being here. So this morning I have a world breaking and remaking session for us, and I want to create space for rewriting the world and a future that we hope to envision. As many people have said over the course of this last year and the pandemic, impossible moments like these also serve as opportunities to redefine and reshape and restate what we want our futures to look like. That doesn't mean that the disasters that we're facing right now have any sort of silver lining. It doesn't mean that these moments, these travesties are necessary for communal growth. But in them, we can and we should, when we have the energy, make space to confront them for the truths that they expose and the guidance that they might offer us as we rebuild that world together. So today I want to guide us in some of that writing towards that more abundant, kinder, and more just world. And I hope you'll join along for some guided writing. As Junot Diaz reminds us, apocalypses, which we might consider we are in right now, are not only catastrophes, they are also opportunities, chances for us to see ourselves, to take responsibility for what we see, to change. So with that in mind, I want to kick us off with a poem. Right after we read this, like I said, I'll do some guided writing prompts, but I just wanted to open with one of my recent favorite writers, Shira Ehrlichman, and this is her poem, Somewhere Real. Get in, George Eliot. I packed PB&Js. I'm bringing that rainbow parachute we held hands under as 8-year-olds. Get in, right beside Autumn, beside every manic pixie dream girl screenplay written by a man, beside Bad Weather, beside Allegra's pomegranate split into 5 uneven offerings, beside Allegra herself. She's a mother now as I write this. Get in, television and all the extinct hardware of the 90s. Montel, Jerry, Ricky, get in. I'm driving. Get in, exes. Tell me about life without me. Pick the music. Thread a threat through my dumb brown hair. Something like, you were always so. Then let the rain finish your sentence. Get in, rain, but don't hog the air. I'm running away. I'm tired of not being a monk. Get in, you're so vain, and 5 o'clock shadows, and how hard it is not talk to my brother. We went a whole year and a half. Get in, year and a half. Get in, therapist, with the good haircut and bad advice. You too, Michael Jackson. I'm so sorry you had to be Michael Jackson. The kind of snow that only fell when I was young. Get in. Or maybe it's just how I saw it. Get in. Or maybe, or maybe it's just how I saw it. Get in. I'm trying desperately not to sound cute, which is, of course, adorable. But please, 11 siblings killed in the camps, get in, next to my grandfather. Pill-headedness, get in. Pema Chodron's forehead and everything behind it, get in. I'm not going to say it again. Buckle up. Put a daffodil behind my ear, touch my shoulder from the back seat, write my will for me. Tell Mary Ann Evans I can hear her humming. It's fine, except it's driving me nuts. I'm aware that I'm crying. Get in, sit next to Kay, the baffling intelligence of starling and uteri, front seat. I'm only 5 feet tall. Too many strangers pick me up as a gag. My recurring dream is that I choose this life again. Keep your hands inside the vehicle. The mandolin I inherited because of genocide keep me awake all night. Morgan, I just want to watch your hands protect a flame. Everybody, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best not to lean so hard on metaphor. I avoid where I am. This road invented itself. Even though I get the facial expressions right, I'm a poor listener. Get in. Greasy haired, buck toothed, gets distracted easily, deodorant stains, secret crush on Catherine. Come on in. Throw your book bag out the window and tell me your favorite color. Turquoise. Get in. The locker they shoved Gabby into and didn't do it, but I didn't stop them. Get in. The line between where you almost went and where you're going, they call that a fork. Funny. Every time I let the moon roof slide open, but there was no moon. Get in. Hurry, slowly, slow up, slur your words, say your sorrow, admit you loved the uglier twin while arm in arm with the one older by a second. Oh, cherishing. Get in. It's not too late. Get in. The diner never closes. Get in. Put your feet on the dash. I'm stopping at I can't believe they call it this. 2 commands. Rest, stop. The game is we rush into the gas station. You buy me a souvenir. I most certainly don't need an you. I found this keychain. It blinks your name. They never have mine. Get in. Get in, world. Death. Time. I swear, I'll turn this car around if you don't hotbox us vapid. The day the stars come down and start walking around like they own the place, God said, I'm quitting. Get in. The game is I spy. The game is who can be quiet the longest. The game is hold your breath, there's a cemetery. Order me fries, order me lungs, order me around, order my manuscript. Here's a handful of pennies, of ketchup packets, of sky. I know you're exhausted. Get in. I'm driving you home. Roll down your window. The forecast is alive. The dog's kicking in his sleep, which means a brain the size of a lemon can squeeze a whole dream. Poor poet, get in. You never could say goodbye with grace. Lucille, get in. Dead family, get in. I want to show you something. I had no map when I started, and now here I am, somewhere real, called loving you. Get in. Whew. Thank you, Shira. That poem always takes residence in my body. And y'all should really have the honor of seeing her read it sometime because it is a total treat and I didn't do it justice. But what I love about this poem, amongst a lot of things, is that Shira builds a whole new world, a whole new land, right? Called loving you. That's the space she builds, inviting all of the necessary ingredients, all of the essential actors into that space, into that new world. She invites her beloveds, both gone and alive. She invites pillheadedness, French fries, gas station souvenirs, daffodils, right? We have all of these specific, really quotidian, grounded details that make this world come alive. And I also really appreciate that she doesn't just focus on the joyful parts, right? That is there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of big emotion in this piece. But she holds both the hard and the light in both in this poem at the same time. And so I want to kind of keep those two ideas from Shira's poem as we write today, both the idea of holding space for the complicated and tough as part of our world rebuilding, and just to imagine our worlds full of specific, really rooted detail. So with that said, let's get writing. Pull up your favorite word processor, pull out a notebook, a pen, get your space situated, get ready to write. And I also invite you to kind of tuck your phone, maybe behind your laptop or somewhere out of sight, so you can be in this space for a moment. And the first, we'll go through a series of kind of scaffolding questions to really get your juices flowing and get some threads to pull together at the end. The one rule is just to keep your hand moving. Just try not to worry too much about what you're writing, and try not to move into that self-editing space, but make sure that you're you're keeping your hand moving, you're keeping the juices flowing as much as you can. And we'll do about 3 of these for 5 minutes each. So get ready. Okay. And remember that you can pause the video at any time if you need more to slow down, even as I'm moving quickly. I'll give us about 5 minutes of prompt, but remember that you can pause when you need to. So first prompt, what do you call in or bring forward with you into this new world? Imagine this place with all of your senses. What does it feel like to move through this space? How does it smell, sound? What are its textures, its colors? Remember, detail. Write to abundance. Get wild and surreal and imaginative. Just because we're using, details and images doesn't mean that we can't make it explosive and really big. I encourage you to play on the page. And remember, use specificity and image. So 5 minutes, get writing, go. Remember, what does it feel like? What does it smell like or sound like? What are its textures? Imagine abundance. What does that look like? Okay, we'll take about another minute. So keep writing, keep the pen moving. All right, wrap up your sentence. Check out your hands. Thank you, hands. Get out of that space and ready for our next. And remember to kind of center yourself in your spot today. Be where you are today. Okay. All right, next prompt. This time, I want you to write a short note to the void or the darkness of this time, however you want to imagine it. What evil things do you see bobbing around in its waters? What do you condemn in it? What rules or habits or customs do you want to pull out and do away with from our old world? So, write to the void, the darkness of this time, and see what you can pull out to leave behind as we move forward. So, let's take another 5 minutes. Remember to keep your hand moving. Go. Keep your hand moving, pretending like I can see you. Keep those fingers moving. It'll take about another minute and some change. Keep writing. If it feels too guttural, dive in deeper. Keep going. If it feels too painful, you can take a step away, move to something else. All right, wrap up the sentence you are on. You can always come back to these later, but go ahead and wrap that one up for now. Shake those hands out. They've done good work. And last but not least, what resources do you have today to bring a new world into existence? What tools might you have? And then what seeds are you planting now, either real or metaphorical, for your future self or for the collective or both or something in between? Think about what you have available to you now to build this future world and free write on that for another let's say 4 minutes. Go. Take about 1 more minute. Keep your hand moving. Slowly start to wrap up this last sentence, knowing that you have these questions and these beginning thoughts to come back to. One last shake of the hands, a little wrist rub. Thank you. And that's it. So now the work of gathering and weaving the pieces that you've just brought forth. This is what starts now, right? Bringing it all together into some cohesion. So you've just done a lot of scaffolding, a lot of kind of pulling up the threads that we can gather together. And so I invite you, as we wrap up here, to flip to a new page, scroll down to a new Google Doc, blank page, and use the materials and details that you've generated to draft a poem, a flash fiction piece, whatever kind of form you want. And you might just give yourself a title to kind of anchor that piece. I have some listed, some options here. I Call In, or you can steal Shira's Somewhere Real with a little epigraph to give her credit, or Ode to the New World, or some kind of genius title of your own invention. Gather your pieces together. You might have some new images that crop up, some new ideas. I hope so. That's the magic of writing, right? And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being in this space, for daring to kind of create something new together, as small, as seemingly small as a piece of writing, or as big as the world. Thank you for being in this space together today. And last but not least, I invite you all to share some of your writing. So head over to tinyurl.com/ignite poetry, and we will be continuing this co-writing the world together work in the form of a communal poem. So we have a Jamboard that you can come and add your one line to, or 2 lines to, the chorus of voices that will be joining together. And at the end of the day, bring in your piece by 5 p.m. And at the end of the day today, our team will weave these together into a collaborative poem that we will feature tonight at our Emerging Writers series at 7 p.m. Central Time. So again, thank you for writing together with me today. I hope you have a great rest of the schedule today, and I hope this sparks something good in you. All right, take good care.